Hello, comics and pop culture people. It's your friend Brian, aka Big B McFly, coming at you again with another Friday Comics Challenge. This time, our challenge is wraparound covers. So let's take a look and see what we were able to come up with in the limited time we had to dig through the collection. All right, see you on the inside. Alright, my friends, welcome to another Friday Comics Challenge. If you guys aren't familiar with what the Friday Comics Challenge is, our friend Alan over at Comic Collector Geek, great channel over there, he puts out a list of criteria and conditions that we are to meet while looking through our collections to show you guys books that meet that criteria. So this week's challenge is wraparound covers, and with the limited amount of time that I had to dig through the collection, this is what I found. So I will tell you just before we get started that having become someone who shoots videos for YouTube, using my collection as a lot of the talent, so to speak, boy, has my collection never been in such disarray. Can't find things. Everything has been torn apart, and I need to shoot this for that and this for that. But anyway, I digress. So moving right along, we're gonna go with our first book, and Alan gave us a little bit of leeway to cheat so we could use some graphic novels if we wanted to. So this one here is Marvels by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross. And it is a beautiful cover. And our friend Mike over at Lunch Money Comics described Marvels in a great way earlier in a video. He said it is a story of all of the major events unfolding in the Marvel universe, told from the viewpoint of an everyman who happens to be a photographer for the Daily Bugle. So Marvel's graphic novel here with the Alex Ross cover, and I will show you the wraparound. And so it kind of goes there onto the spine, and then on the back we've got his hand there holding the camera. So there we go. There's the Marvel's graphic novel. And then, if just putting your collection in complete disarray wasn't enough, now we've got to take everything out of bags and boards so I can show you both sides of the book. So now we're putting our collection in harm's way. But, again, I digress. So here we go. We've got the Justice graphic novel by Alex Ross, written by Jim Kruger. And got a beautiful cover there by Mr. Ross, and it wraps around. And we've got all of the characters there on the back. So there we go. The Justice graphic novel. That was a pretty cool storyline. The main thing that I got out of that one was they gave Aquaman a healing factor like Wolverine. So that was kind of cool to find out about Aquaman, which I never knew before. So all right, and we're back through the magic of editing. All right, so another great wraparound cover here by George Perez, Crisis on Infinite Earths #1. We probably could have done our entire series of wraparound covers by the beautiful art by Mr. Perez. He is very known for his amazing detail, and we've got a few more books coming up that will showcase that. So this is Crisis on Infinite Earths #1, and there's the front, and we're going to show you the back there. It kind of wraps around. You got all the characters, the worlds colliding. So if you're not familiar with the storyline for Crisis, it is DC was trying to kind of streamline things because throughout the years since the beginning of the DC Universe's creation, they had literally hundreds of Earths that had different storylines and different versions of characters, and so they decided to have a giant cataclysmic crossover where all of the Earths were colliding and unifying to become one. And so you had like all of the Golden Age versions of the characters meeting their Silver Age and modern day counterparts, which ended up with happening, deaths of many characters. Supergirl died in that storyline. I know the Flash died. It was just a pretty traumatic event for people who've been reading DC for a long time, but it was intended to streamline everything, but then everybody loved everything the way it was, so it's kind of all unraveled since then, but best intentions, I guess. So going along with that, Mr. Busiek and Mr. Perez, JLA Avengers. We got that some more beautiful artwork by George Perez, the JLA Avengers crossover. I did a short video discussing what the JLA Avengers crossover was all about, so if you want to check that out, it's available on the channel. But we're going to just show the artwork here. So there's the back cover, kind of highlighting the characters. And if you didn't know, Marvel and DC, the only way they could make this thing happen was they had to alternate who got to be the headliner. So first issue was JLA Avengers, second issue was Avengers JLA, and so on and so forth. And I don't know how they decided who got to be headlining first. Must have been a coin toss or something. But here we go. We got Avengers JLA, which is JLA Avengers number 2. You got all the main characters there duking it out. And continuing to duke it out there on the back. I love Plastic Man getting zapped in the face there by the Wasp. That was great. But there you go. JLA Avengers number 2. And then we've got JLA Avengers number 3. And another just beautiful cover with just every character you could think of. You've even got the Great Lakes Avengers in there. I could see her in the background. Was that what's her name? Big Bertha? So you've got everybody in there. And we'll flip it around and show you the back cover. There we go. So just about everybody who's ever been a member of the JLA or the Avengers on the cover there. And then we're going to go with number 4, which is just a beautiful cover. Superman decked out with all the items of power. I don't know why he doesn't have Wonder Woman's magic lasso, but he's got Cap's shield and Thor's hammer, and pretty darn cool there. So I'll show you the back, which has kind of that same thing, two worlds colliding, which is the Marvel and the DC universe colliding. I remember one of the big things that I got out of reading this storyline was they found out, they were talking about Scarlet Witch, and she was talking about chaos magic, and I believe it's Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate are talking, and they both say there's no such thing as chaos magic. So they were kind of like alluding to the fact that it was all her mutant powers. But anyway, so moving right along, here we go. A book that was printed to oblivion, but we got a lesser seen copy. We've got the second printing of X-Force number 1 by Mr. Rob Liefeld. We got a wraparound cover on that guy. So a lot of people might not know that that's a wraparound cover. And then we're going to combine one gimmick with another. So we're going to go chromium covers with wraparound covers. So we've got Joe Quesada on Bloodshot number 0. And the chromium cover there. And you can see that reflecting, shining back at you. And then there's the back cover of that one. And even cooler than that is, I really love this cover, is Ninjak number 1 with a Joe Quesada cover. And that is all shiny, chromy. And when you flip it over, there we go. We got all the bad guys on the backside there. So there you go. Well, if you guys could do me a favor on the way out, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, and consider using the Buy Me a Coffee option found down in the description, that would be awesome. And I want to remind you guys to share your love of comics with everyone you meet. You never know if that's going to help somebody become inspired to collect comics themselves, or lead you to a treasure trove of books that have been lying dormant and dusty in an attic somewhere. So Well, thanks for watching, guys. That's all I've got, and have a great day.